Hi everyone, welcome to Bea Yoga. I'm Beatrice, and today I'll guide you through a practice which is a yin practice for your hips. So this can be quite an intense practice, so I'll give you modifications. So if you want to take it, you can take it every level, but really listen to your body, really be kind to yourself and go wherever your body needs to go today. So for this practice, you don't need that many props. So really what you need, you might not need anything. You might need a block, maybe a blanket. And if you have it, a bolster will be nice, but if you don't, doesn't matter. So bringing ourselves onto a seated position to start with, starting by grounding down through our sitting bones and using our timer so we're correct with the duration of the poses. Start to bring yourself into your body, into the room. You can bring the hands into your lap and sit in any position that's comfortable, because we're working with the hips. Cross-legged would be perfect. Just taking the first few moments to notice how we're feeling. Noticing our hips especially. Keeping our chin tucked to the chest, our crown of the head pointing up to the ceiling. Starting to deepen our breath in and out through the nose if that's possible. Starting to bring the breath deep into your abdomen. Into the sides of the body, but always leaving the chest and shoulders relaxed. And bringing ourselves into our first posture, butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together at a distance from your sitting bones, so we're not in Baddha Konasana. So our legs are in a diamond shape. And bring the feet. You are almost sitting bones to the back of the mat and feet to the top, sort of like at the shorter side of your mat. And once you're ready, ground your sitting bones and then start to fold in the middle. And you can bring the hands wherever you want, depending on where you're going. You can bring a block on your feet to support your head, or you can bring a bolster on your feet. And then settle down into the posture. Returning to your breath. Just beginning gently to work on our hips. And as you're here, soften not just your hips, but your whole body. Soften your shoulders, soften your neck, your jaw, your eyes and forehead. On your next inhale, begin to bring yourself back upright. For your next posture, you might need a block or a blanket. First, bring the feet flat on the ground. If you need to, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Just a couple of times. You can point the fingers back, open your chest. And then once you're ready, we're coming up into Malhar Sauna. So bring the feet as wide as your mat. I'll show you from the side because that makes more sense. Bring the hands to your back and start to raise your sitting bones off the ground. Bring the hands in front of you. Feet point out, toes point out to the side, feet are as wide as the mat. Drop your hips down towards the ground. Bring the hands at heart center and press the elbows away from each other into the knees. So this might not be accessible, and that's completely fine. You might be here. So just in case you're there, grab a blanket, thick blanket, double it up. Bring it under your heels, and you can go there. If you feel uncomfortable to support yourself here and you can't relax, bring a block under your sitting bones and be here. Wherever you are, open your knees out, bring the hands at heart center and press your elbows away into the knees. So as you get to this posture, allow your hips to soften. Allow your face to soften. Try not to engage your glutes. And find stillness. See if you can drop the shoulders further away from the ears and open the chest. Wherever you are, remind yourself to keep breathing. Just a few more moments here. And release the hands, bring them back to the back of your mat. Drop back down onto your hips, onto your sitting bones. And this time we're coming onto fire log pose. So again, I'll give you a different option here. So you can either keep cross-legged and fold from cross-legged. So in this case, left leg is in front, right is at the back, and you can fold forward here. If you want to come to the full fire log, bring that right foot under your left knee. Left foot comes up onto that right knee. So the ankle is on the knee, the foot is coming out to the side. So the foot point up out to the side. So here you can use a block again. You can use a blanket under your sitting bones. So you can raise your hips and you'll make it more comfortable to fold forward. If there's a big gap in between the upper knee and the foot, you can bring a block and then start to fold forward. And relax your head down. Relax your shoulders. I know it's hard to soften here, but try to allow your shoulders to relax, your hips to relax, your head to fold down. And try to keep breathing. You can support your head stuck in your fists, maybe on blocks. And starting to come out, bring yourself back up to an upright position. If you're in fire log, come out of fire log, bring that foot down. If you are in cross-legged, in which case you had the left shin forward, right back, switch across to the legs. And if you were in fire log, this time bring the left foot under your right knee, right foot over your left knee. And again, if there is a lot of space in between your knee and your foot, bring a block in between. And then start folding forward. Evening out the sides, same amount of time on this side. Again, sucking fists if you need to, support your head. And always paying attention to the sides. I might feel completely different on this side. A few more breaths. Try to deepen your breath to keep it going smooth and soft. And the next inhale, bring yourself back upright. And unwind on this side as well, calming out either of cross-legged or fire log. Bring the feet flat on the ground. And again, windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And after this, we're coming into our last posture. So again, quite an intense posture. You can either take this posture, which is frog pose, or the alternative can be child's pose. So let us all start from child's pose. Bring a blanket under your knees. That will help you in case you then want to go to frog pose. So have your blanket quite wide to the sides. Bring the knees as wide as your mat. Big toes together, sit down towards your heels, and then walk yourself forward. If you're staying in child's pose, if you feel this is already quite a lot for your hips, and you feel some pressure in the knees, stay in child's pose, then bring a block in case you feel there's a lot of space in between the sitting bones and your heels. Bring a block under your sitting bones for support, or a couple of cushions. If you want to go into the full frog pose, start to bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. Open your knees a bit wider. Let the feet point out to the sides and have them as wide as your knees. So my blanket is not big enough to stay under the knees completely. So I'll be out. And bring yourself down onto your forearms. Drop your head down. Swing the hips. And the feet and the ankles are in line with your knees. You can bring yourself all the way down, forehead to the ground or on a block. If you feel pressure in the knees, please come out and stay in child's pose. Another option is to have the knees lengthwise on the mat rather than how I'm doing it now, rather than to the sides of the mat. So the long sides of the mat. Exhale now. If you are into frog pose, start to bring yourself up to hands and knees. Bring the feet in, back, toes together as if you were going to child's pose. Bring the knees closer to each other. And take a breath down in child's pose. Take a narrow-legged child's pose. We'll finish here. Arms either side of your body. Forehead down on the ground or on a block. And soften down. Before we close our practice, I'll read you a quote by Vanda Scaravelli today. Do not kill the instinct of the body for the glory of the pose. Do not look at your body like a stranger, but adopt a friendly approach towards it. Watch it, listen to it, observe its needs, its requests, and even have fun. To be sensitive is to be alive. Do not kill the instinct of your body for the glory of the pose. Do not look at your body like a stranger, but adopt a friendly approach towards it. Watch it, listen to it, observe its needs, its requests, and even have fun. To be sensitive is to be alive. Vanda Scaravelli. So once you're ready to come out of your child's pose, bring yourself back up onto hands and knees. You can stay there as long as you want. You can take this to Shavasana. Or if you need to, dash. And you want to close your practice, bring yourself down onto your sitting bones, come up to seated. Adjust your hips. Notice if there's any difference now. Take a breath. Exhale out through the mouth. Drop your shoulders. Bring your hands to heart center. And bow down to close your practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Hope it challenged you, but that you respected your body and that you listened to what you needed